reveals that everything about him exists in a state of perpetual flux. The particulars of his origin and his power set have vacillated wildly. So too has his persona continually evolved. In his first few years of life, he was our hot-headed, protective big brother. He spent the 40s and 50s assuming the role of our coolly distant father. He morphed in the 60s and 70s into our bemused, out-of-touch uncle. And he even became, mercifully briefly, in the benighted 90s, our mulleted hillbilly cousin. His rogues gallery changed as well. For the first few years of his life, Superman was the ballistic missile brought to the knife fight, as writer Jerry Siegel simply let his grinning man of steel hopelessly outmatch petty thugs, goons, and yeggs. When that inevitably began to pall, Superman started facing off with pesky tricksters and mad scientists armed with deadly gadgets. Later, when the radio show introduced a mysterious substance that could actually kill the Man of Steel, the stakes rose considerably. Since then, the threats to his existence, and to the world, and in point of fact, to the cosmos itself, have only escalated exponentially. Even the thing that is most immediately recognizable about the guy, his costume, isn't immune to change. Hell, in 2011, he even lost the red underpants, if you can imagine. Yet, to non-fans, Superman exists primarily as a memory of childhood. And we tend to think of the things we loved at a young age as frozen in amber, preserved exactly as they were when we last spared them a thought. This is one reason that his publisher's decision to temporarily kill off the Man of Steel in 1992, conceived as little more than a publicity stunt, touched off a surprising wave of collective nostalgia and reflexive outrage. It felt, to the many who actually thought DC would keep him dead, like a curiously personal attack on something good, innocent, and fondly, if dimly, remembered. Superman changes as our culture changes. The only thing about him, in fact, that has remained untouched, inviolate since Action Comics #1 hit the stands in April 1938, is his motivation. That motivation is at once the simplest of them all and the hardest to unpack. He is a hero. Specifically, 1, he puts the needs of others over those of himself. 2, he never gives up. These are his two most essential attributes, the elements that make a Superman story a Superman story. As we will see, even when all of the other more recognizable pieces of super iconography are in place, the costume, the powers, the spit curl, and so on, if one or both of those two bedrock elements are missing, our mind rebels. We instinctively reject it. It's just not Superman. The Man of Steel remains the most recognizable figure of the superhero genre, and the superhero genre continues to dominate the comics marketplace and lately the box office as well. Yet this is an uncertain time. As more and more artists and writers look to tell a wider variety of stories, the comics medium is incrementally diversifying. This, combined with the rise of digital distribution, when comics fly through the ether to alight on iPads and smartphones, means that the monthly superhero comic book as we know it today is not long for this world. Meanwhile, film critics and audiences are showing increasingly advanced symptoms of spandex fatigue. As we will see, though, Superman is bigger than the comics that birthed him. Bigger even than the films and the television series that have infused him throughout our culture. He will endure in some form for another 75 years or another because, unlike Spider-Man and Batman, he is not the hero with whom we identify. He is the hero in whom we believe. He is the first, the purest, the ideal. As long as character traits such as selflessness and perseverance manage to retain any cultural currency whatsoever, we will need a Superman to show us what they look like. Before we begin, however, indulge me in some quick bits of housekeeping. It is impossible to tell the story of Superman without acknowledging the legal, financial, and emotional struggles of Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster and their respective estates to claim the recognition and remuneration they are owed. That, however, is not the subject of this book, which is concerned with Superman as a cultural phenomenon. I encourage those interested in the story of Siegel and Shuster to read Gerald Jones's excellent Men of Tomorrow, Basic Books 2004, and to consider, while they're at it, making a donation to the Hero Initiative, www.heroinitiative.org, a nonprofit organization that provides a safety net for aging comic book creators in need.